time is 2:04 p.m. on October 26, 2009, and this is tape number 3.
Mr. Conte, I'm going to mark what will be the next exhibit number.
34.
This document reports a quote that you gave to the New York Times, and it quotes you as saying, "The program I created for Barry was a comprehensive nutritional supplement regimen, had nothing to do with any of the other anabolic steroids." Is that something you've said?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And over how long a period of time did you provide a nutritional supplementation regimen for Barry Bonds?
Starting in October, November time frame of 2000 up until the day of the raid, September 3rd, 2003.
And how often would he come to Balco?
I met with him there either 2 or 3 times. Mm-hmm. He may have come having samples collected and met with Jim Valenti other times.
I'm sorry, having samples collected?
Yes. Blood samples.
And what did you do for him?
I created a nutrition program.
And what did that consist of?
Many, many different nutritional supplements, some that he took in the morning, some that he took post-workout, some that he took at night before bed. It was a very comprehensive program that included many different types of supplements.
Some that would be taken on some days and not others?
No, he pretty much took them on a daily basis.
Okay. In different dosages?
They were dosages that were determined to be effective or to be appropriate, I guess would be a better word for him.
So as I understand it, when he came to you, he did blood and urine workup?
I believe that he did, yes.
And you put together a detailed nutritional form for him?
Yes, I did.
To maximize his physical potential?
Overall performance, I wouldn't say just physical, some of them enhance cognitive function.
Maximizes overall performance, would that be a fair way of saying it?
Yes.
And this went on for 3 years, right?
Yes.
And this whole program involved completely legal and unbanned nutrients and supplements, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. And he never paid you any cash, correctly?
No, he did not.
But he did provide Zima with an endorsement through his photograph, didn't he?
He did an interview about it and talked about it and also wore some clothes that had ZMA on them for a photo shoot, yes.
Which were then used for ZMA's benefit?
Which were not as an advertisement, but in an article that was in Muscle and Fitness magazine.
Was it ever in any was it ever in a magazine?
Yes, it was.
Okay, more than one?
No.
Okay. Did you
there may have been another with a photo of him. I can't remember the name, but I think there may have been one other.
Was his picture on your website?
At one time it was, yes.
Was there any quotation from him about it?
Yes, because he talks about it in the article.
Okay. And are you aware, did you ever read anything about how much Mr. Bonds would make for endorsements over the years when he was a big star?
I never read about any of his endorsements or how much money he made from those, no.
Did you have any discussion with him about when you requested his endorsement help as to what it might cost?
Objection as to form.
All right, I'll withdraw it. Who brought up the issue of him providing endorsement services to you, him or you?
Again, objection.
Okay, but he can answer if he understands.
I actually made the request of Greg Anderson, who asked Barry, and Barry, this was in 2003, and I'd been helping him, like I say, since October of 2000, And he did ask me, in addition to help his brother, his younger brother, Ricky, and also his father. And so I provided testing for them and supplements for them as well. So when Greg asked him if he would do this interview about his work with me, Barry agreed to do so.
Did you enter into
that simple.
Did you enter into any written agreement with him as to how often his likeness could be used?
No. What actually happened was that when the person who conducted the interview talked with Barry and asked him for the release, there was a couple-page agreement, and what Barry told him was, look, you know, I'm doing this for Victor, so here's what I would like you to do. And he asked him to take every place that his name appeared in the agreement and to strike his name and to put my name. And then he wanted a statement at the end that basically said that he was signing all of the rights to the interview and the photo over to me, and that I could do as I choose. If I thereafter decided to pass those rights on to Muscle and Fitness, I could do so, but for some reason it was important for Barry to sign the rights over to me to do as I chose to do.
Do you consider him to be a close friend?
I wouldn't say close friend. You know, I can tell you that, you know, now I'm aware of what he testified to, and when they talked to him about this specific issue, he told them that what I just described, that I'd helped him for a number of years and never asked him for anything in return, and we had developed you know, a friendship there, and he basically said something to the effect that this was nothing more than a friend doing a favor for a friend.
When was the Muscle and Fitness article?
You know, they come out at
the one with
times.
Bonds.
I believe it's a May or June issue. That doesn't necessarily mean that's when it came out, but I think it was in the May issue.
Of 2003?
Of 2003, or maybe June issue that came out in May. They're typically ahead of time.
So as within months of Shane Mosley coming to see you, in the preceding months, there had been an article in Muscle and Fitness magazine with a full-size, full-page picture of Barry Bonds, correct?
There probably was a full-page picture of him, not wearing ZMA or anything, but of him.
And there was an article in there, in that episode, not episode, that what do they call it? Issue, which Barry Bonds discussed the extraordinary results he had received as a result of working with you and Balco in an entirely legal, appropriate manner, correct?
That's correct.
Because as of 2003, before the raid, Balco and you were taking the position that it did not publicly, it did not give anything illegal to any of its customers, right?
We didn't promote that, no.
I mean, there were no articles that you knew of at the time supported by Balco to the extent, supported by Balco in which Balco or a representative admitted that the clear and the cream were being used.
No, there was not.
Okay. And in fact, prior to the raid in 2003, there had been suggestions in the press and from various athletic bodies that some of the athletes you were working with had been taking steroids, correct?
Could you repeat the question?
Well, had there been, for example,